It's dark in here. Here we get some light. All right, let's do some stretching. A little stretch. Where's my band? Where is it? Good morning. Almost afternoon here. Do a little stretch before I hit the cardio. Day 2 Get Active Challenge. Get active any way you want. Whether it's exercise, lifting weights, cardio, walking, or just talking. It's all good. Come cheer me on. 9:45. Yeah, so you still got some morning left. I love the mornings. I find if I don't get up early enough, I wasted my day. Because I'm not a night owl. Now I'm going to get my timer ready, and I'm just going to do light cardio this morning. Whoops. Just texting my brother here before I forget. Hey, No Parts Garage, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm just going to do a little cardio. This is my own challenge. I'm doing cardio now until the end of May every day. It's going to be Monday to Friday, first thing in the morning for me, and weekends, who knows, whenever I get around to it. Super bright outside. There we go. Get my stopwatch ready on my phone. All right, I'm going to rip out 40 minutes of cardio. soon though, I'm gonna get my hand cycle out, and I'll be doing some biking outside in the morning. I find that 40 minutes goes by so fast when I'm chatting with you guys. I'm going to go too hard today. I'm not going to doing the circuit training I do on this, where you see me yesterday, where I was doing kind of 30 seconds, one arm, 30 seconds, and then 30 seconds with the other arm, and then going together, tandem, two arms for 30 seconds, and then sprinting out hard, alternating. It's going to do a nice long, sustained cardio. And because I was at the gym last night, did some more cardio after I did a battle rope superset. The battle ropes, I did 30-second battle ropes. Combine that with the slam ball. I got videos on that routine on my channel as well. And so I did blocks of 2 for 3 rounds. So it was a good workout. It's a while since I did the battle ropes too. About 2 weeks ago since I did them. It's like the saying goes, you don't use it, you lose it. When it came to that third block, I was hurting. I couldn't get for 30 seconds. I had to stop and then restart, stop, restart. So what I'll do is I'll go 10 minutes in this direction here, flip over and go 10 minutes. The opposite direction. Increase the tension a little bit. I do want to get my heart rate up, but nothing like yesterday morning. Hey, Cord Man, Kenny. Yesterday morning, I think I was listening to 90s rock. Now I'm listening to 80s rock. I don't think you can hear it though over my machine, but you can faintly hear it. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate it. Did you get any sleep last night? Or did you try to go to sleep? I was out. Like, I had a late, for me, I had a late night. Taxiing kids around. But I didn't get home until like 9:30 or 10 o'clock. Yeah, I think it was close to 10. And then packed it up, pretty much went to bed. Oh, wow. Wow. That's early. That's good that you got some sleep, though. I was out, so I woke up once. I don't know what time it was. It was early, though. but I got pretty good solid sleep. Which I usually do. I usually get between 7 and 7.5 hours. Usually it's uninterrupted. But last night the lights were left on. I just happened to wake up or roll over and see that the lights are left on in the kitchen. So I went in and turned on lights. Got up and turned all the lights off. Morning, James. How you doing this morning? Almost afternoon here. Approaching 12 o'clock. 7 minutes. We were just talking about sleep, James, and I was saying I usually get between 7 and 7.5 hours of solid sleep a night. I try to. Sweet, can you refresh my memory, James? Whereabouts? If you don't mind saying whereabouts are you? I have a hard time remembering where people are from. I'm here in New Brunswick, Canada. Yeah, so typically Monday to Friday, I'm early morning cardio. And the weekends, I'm just, whenever I gotta get around to it. And Pennsylvania, that's where PA is. So yeah, yesterday at the gym, last night, I did some battle rope and slam ball, supersets, and then to finish off, I went and did some cardio, but I didn't do the arm bike. They have an arm bike just like this at the gym I go to. I did the rowing machine for 1,000 kilometers, typically about 5.5 minutes. Maybe closer to 6 because it's quite tired from the supersets. And then when I did that, I jumped over to the rope pull down machine, which is really cool. I got that on a couple shorts, that rope pull down machine. You go check that out. So I did that for about 10 minutes too. So I did 20 minutes cardio afterwards. Coming quick on that 10-minute mark. We're around 9 minutes now. I'm going to switch over and go the opposite direction. So this Get Active Challenge Day 2. My Get Active is daily cardio. And anything after that is bonus, which I normally work out with weights as well in the afternoon or evening. But yeah, like yourself, get active any way you want. Okay, it's 10 minutes there. I'm going to grab a quick drink and rotate the crank cycle around. Pause it there. little Bon Jovi. Okay. Let's go. It's going to be a beautiful day today. The sun is again, blue skies, nothing but blue skies today. And I don't know what the temperature is going to go up to. It was cool early this morning. Cool wind. I'm going to let the dog out. Yeah, James, it's a great machine. It works your arms, like your forearms, your triceps, your biceps, your shoulders, your back, your core. And you can have it at different settings. If you stand up, you can have it in a stand-up position where you can stand up and do it. You have this level here. You have like your chest level, and then you have a lower midsection. And then, like I said, you can flip it around and do the whole thing over again. Or if you can't transfer onto the seat, like I did, or if you choose not to transfer onto it, you can flip the head of the crank cycle forward. Make sure I don't fall. So you could wheel your wheelchair around. Oh, the brakes on. So you can wheel your wheelchair around like this, and I'll demonstrate after in full what the crank cycle can do. It's an awesome machine. Maybe it's an MJ here. Awesome. All right, let's get this back. All right, let's go. We got some time to make up. Sorry. Nice. Yeah, build it for you. Build it for you. Like, this is my Get Active Challenge Day 2. This is for me and anybody who wants to join in, challenge themselves. Get on and keep me company, cheer me on, and chat with each other and network. It's all good. Not only physically do I do this to help me physically, but also mentally. Hey there, mountain folk. Good day to you. There's other ones, James, arm bikes you can get that are tabletop that you can get that you can use for both leg and your arms. I had one of those. As long as if you have a place where you can fasten it down, like it's not like you're gonna drill it down onto your kitchen table. But if you can have a separate station, like if you see these weights off to the side, you get a platform or a stand, like a desk, an older desk or something. Or what did I have? Oh, I have in the garage. I have a microwave stand that would work perfect for it. But you could bolt down the portable one for your arms. But again, it all depends really on your situation. Not sure. Can you hear the music? I can faintly hear it. I'm just wondering if you guys can hear it. Just over the 5 minute mark in this direction. So I'm gonna add another minute and a half because I was chatting and showing the different settings in the crank cycle. So I'll make up for that. I think tomorrow for my cardio, I'm going to do an evening cardio session. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to head to the gym. I think that's what I'll do. And dig out the bike. I'm going to dig out the hand cycle. Get that out to get my daughter's bike ready. All right, James, thanks for stopping in. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend, and we will catch you next time. Peace, James. You too, Mountain Folk. Have a great day. If you have any questions, fire away on this machine that I'm using, on any of my routines that I do. You know, using a wheelchair every day. Like, it's all good. I'm here to help. My timers, I'm coming close on 20 minutes. With 10 minutes in this direction, I'm up on my clock. I'm going to go an extra minute and a half or so. Because I had a pause there where I was chatting about the crank cycle and showing different settings. So, in which I didn't pause my timer, my stopwatch. But so I'll rip off another minute and a half going in this direction to make up the time. Right now I'm going at a really comfortable pace. My heart rate is up. controlled breathing. The arms, shoulders, I feel really loose. Lower back's coming along. But this here is all about just getting things moving. Warmed up for the day. I took my time this morning to get on early. I got up pretty early and ate some breakfast and had some coffee. Then I'm going to go another 30 seconds here and then flip it over. Go the opposite direction. All right, let's flip it over. What I would love to have in here or add to my home gym would be a rowing erg. I love rowing, but there's just no room for it. That's too big and it's too difficult, really awkward, I should say, to move around. Like this thing here too. I mean, it sits nicely in the corner. I don't move the crank cycle much at all. But if I do, you can see at the bottom I have a blue mat underneath the crank cycle, so it's just easy. You can easily slide. If I want to move it anywhere in the room, it just slides nicely along the floor. I did look at a few different rowing ergs. Ones that were compact, they can kind of fold and stand up in the corner. It just didn't look too durable. Like, I guess there's just a certain kind that I like, and it's the one I use at the gym. This is very stable, and with all the bells and whistles on it. I guess just when I get used to one, I've been using for 10 years. It'd be hard to go to a different one, I guess. I did go to a different gym a couple years ago, year and a half ago, to try out a different gym in town, and they had a different rowing erg. I got on that sucker, and it was still a workout, but it was just a different feeling. It's just, I guess, all about getting used to it. So, bottom line is, I don't have room for a rower. This is about all the room I have right here in my corner. And then hopefully this weekend I'll get to rearrange and tidy up my garage. I'm going to move some weights out there. I'm going to put the Bowflex out there and my bench out there for some garage workouts. One thing I do want to add out to my garage gym is a pull-up bar. That is definitely top of my list. Check it out. Check it out for pull-up bar with maybe some table capabilities there that I can find something that has a stack of weights as well. I can do some table work. I can use my bands, my elastic bands out there for cable, which works fine as well. That would be the cheaper route. Get a little bit of sweat on now. And thanks everyone for stopping in. And for those that are sticking around, appreciate it. I think there's some Guns N' Roses in the background I can hear. I'm playing the 80s greatest hits, rock hits today. Yesterday I had the 90s. There's some songs that were hits in the 90s that I actually thought were back in the 80s. I'm going to increase the tension just a little bit. Just a little bit. So okay, not quarter of an inch, quarter of a turn. A little more resistance in this direction. This machine's great for improving your cardio and strength. Gain lean muscle, drop some weight, the unwanted stuff. Coming up on almost 30 minutes, and I'm going to continue on here in this direction for another 5 minutes. So that'd be 15 minutes in this direction, and then I'm going to switch over and finish off with 15 minutes in the opposite direction. Then do some stretching there, and then I'm going to go over this crank cycle for those that haven't seen one before. Show you all its capabilities. Then call it a day. Enjoy this, get out, enjoy the sunshine. Hey, Cruisy Scene, how are you? Thanks for jumping on and joining. Yeah, I'm at the 30-minute mark, but I'm going to do like another 5 minutes in this direction before I turn it around the other direction. Then I'll do 15 minutes of that. It's 12:17 my time. That's 12:18 p.m. Awesome, Kenny. Cruising scene. James had to leave. But I'm sure he says hi back. Now, how I have this set up is I have my crane cycle in the corner of my room, and I have my computer laptop sitting on a chair, about maybe, I don't know, 6 feet away, 7 feet away, connected to my big screen TV. So I can see nice and clear everyone's chat coming up. I don't want to miss anything. I want to welcome people. Hello, Workout Academy London. How's things going? That way I don't want to miss anybody coming in. And any questions that come up, I don't want to miss. I want to answer. I got about 3 more minutes in this direction, then I'm going to flip it over for 15 in the other direction. No crazy circuits today. Hey, redheaded Riding Hood, welcome. My day 2 of my Get Active Challenge. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I noticed that my consistency was tapering with my cardio. I generally am in this room every morning doing cardio first thing in the morning before I start work, but I just consistency wasn't there, and I still would get into the gym, 4 times a week for weights and cardio there, but I was really missing my morning cardio. So I kind of want to do this challenge for myself, for accountability with everybody, and to get anyone else active. Whether it's jumping on their cardio machine, or they want to do aerobics, walking, whatever. Once a day, just to get active. But just stretch at least for a day, once a day. Hey, Lord, if you want to jump on here and cheer me on, I'm all for that too. It's great chatting with everybody. Almost ready to switch over. So cruising scene, do you do home workouts, or do you head off to the gym? Seconds here. Actually, no, I gotta go another minute and a half because I fell behind earlier on in this workout. Oh, that's good, yeah. Yeah, working out from home is awesome too. I do that once in a while with the weights here. I like the gym because I work from home, so I'm in the house all day. So that just gets me out of the house, and get to see the gym peeps. Good workout. We have a little more variety of machines that I like to use other than dumbbells. So it's good to change it up for me. 30 seconds here. Then I'm going to switch over. I totally lost track of time. I'm 35 minutes in cardio, and I was only going to go to 40, but I'm going to flip over and finish off in the forward direction here. Now I'm going to reduce the tension a little bit here in this direction because you are using some smaller muscles just to get started. Here we go. In this direction, using smaller shoulder muscles. And there we go. And after this here, I'm going to do a little cool down. Stretch. All right, so I'll do a little cool down, then I'll talk about the bike here for a little bit. Some of you have never seen it before. Let's do a quick little review. I also have a video that I did on it when I first got the bike, a review on the bike here. Oh, that's awesome. I like to hear that. Yeah, I mentioned this to you yesterday too. I'd love to get back into swimming. I just love to swim. I used to swim quite a bit when my kids were younger. When we took them for their swimming lessons, there was like this indoor facility. They would have a kiddie pool. It's pretty cool because that kiddie pool, the floor in the pool actually raised up and down, depending on what type of class they were doing that day or who wrote that day. They could adjust the level of the pool floor. It was pretty cool. And on the other side, just like a stone's throw, not even a stone, I guess maybe like 2 steps away, there was the Olympic-sized pool. And the kids were doing their lessons in one pool. I'd jump in the other pool for a free swim, or lap swim as they called it, and then swim laps for the 40 minutes or 40 minutes to an hour, however long they had the lessons for. And I tell you, when you don't swim for a while, you try doing laps. You don't use it, you lose it, that's for sure. I have been swimming, I have swam in a couple pools since, but just recreational and mostly just floating. Now, do you swim at an indoor pool or are you outdoors swimming? Red-headed Riding Hood. I'm at 40 minutes. Let's go. Now I'm going to increase the tension just a little bit. Nothing crazy. I also love the hot tub. some Queen in the background. I always tell Freddie Mercury's vocals go for anything. Okay, thanks. Yeah, the YMCA, that's where we did my swimming too. That's where the kids had their swimming lessons. Sea Lake Journeys with Robin and Chet. Yeah, I'll check them out for sure. I'll check them out. You know, I'm 42 minutes in this cardio, and it just flew right by with you guys keeping me company. I appreciate it, working out with me and chatting. Love it. Because normally I'd be here watching a movie or other YouTube channels. But this is great. It's motivating too, right? Like, if I'm drifting off watching the movie while I work out, that's it. I drift off and I'll start slacking off a little bit slower and slower and slower. Then I go, oh, shake my head and get back into it. But being interactive like this, to feed off your energy. Oh yeah, Gold's Gym. That's one of my dreams, to get out to California and hit the Venice Beach Gold's Gym. Stay there and tour all the touristy scenes, Hollywood, all that stuff. Never been out there. Closest I've been that side of the country would be Vegas. Yeah, I'd say Vegas. I think would be the closest. That is Sea Lake Journeys. Okay, check that out. Because I still want to go on a cruise too. That's on my list as well to do. Something to experience. I almost was so tempted to book a Kiss Carnival cruise. I don't know if they're still doing that or not, but I was a huge Kiss fan as a kid. And they came out a few years back there with their cruise, Kiss Carnival cruise. That would have been something to see. I've seen them once in concert here in Nova Scotia, Halifax. Pretty good time. So a few more minutes and then we'll do a little cool down. again, thanks everyone for joining in and keeping me company. Appreciate it so much. Please handcuffs. Oh, nice. Yes, definitely. I did see a channel cruising, seeing, I was browsing. I'm not sure if I joined, if I'm subscribed or not, but it was about accessible cruise lines. Maybe this is quite a while ago. Maybe my first hooked up with you. That's when I was kind of investigating and checking things out. But I'll go back and see Lake Journeys, and if not, I'll connect with them. That would be definitely a great source to check out the accessibility, right? So I know what a person's getting into, because that's the thing that kind of held me back a lot. It still does at times, right? Like, you know, if you want to go to a place you're not familiar with, it's like, what is the accessibility like? And it's good to know straight up. And honestly, like, you don't want to bash anybody, but if you call and ask about accessibility, a lot of times, my experience is that they're not too keen on what accessibility really means. I give them my circumstances. I tell them that I'm in a wheelchair, and so manual wheelchair. And I'll hear at times, it's accessible, no problem getting in, or seating to watch this concert, no problem, you're good. But when you get there, it's a problem. And I'm quite mobile, and if there had been somebody else that wasn't as mobile as myself, it would have been a ruined night out at the concert. You know what I'm saying? It's all about educating. So it's good to have a channel like that you can take a look at, see for yourself. I got actually a picture of yesterday. I had to get my car serviced. I get the winter tires taken off, put the summer tires on, and I had to go to the washroom. It's an accessible washroom. At one time, it wasn't always an accessible washroom, but at one time it was open to multiple people. Like, you had your toilet stall, and you had a stand-up urinal in men's, and we could have two people in there at a time, whatever. And the third would go in if they wanted to wash their hands, or I don't know. But they had since made it lock and key, and they only allow one person in there at a time. And this washroom, it's just like I've been there quite a few times, because that's where I always get my car serviced, this particular garage. And it's a well-known retail outlet. It's big here in Canada. Anyways, the door is always an issue in that room, that washroom, that stall. The door is always an issue. So when you could have multiple people in there, when you get into that one toilet stall, you had to cram in there, squeeze in there, a certain angle, a certain way. You gotta close the door, and you had to wiggle, jump, wiggle. And I have a small chair. Like, my chair's only 15 inches wide, seat, and 15. I think it's 23 the whole way across. Wheel, outside wheel, 23 and a half, 23, and so you're always wiggling to shut that door. And you couldn't just leave the door open, because the main door is wide open for anybody to come in. So, but since then, in the last 2 years, they put that accessible washroom, a public washroom, under lock and key. So you have to ask the employee for the key. You get the key. You go in, and the way they adjusted the wheelchair toilet stall, quite something. They had actually taken the door off and put a shower curtain across. So, yeah, they're kind of genius. it works. I mean, now that I can lock the door when I go in, the door automatically locks and you go in, so it's only you in the bathroom. You don't even need the curtain anymore, or a door. But anyways, it's the thought. It's the thought. I'll post a picture on my Instagram. Hey, Lashes. I'll post a picture of that on my Instagram in a little bit now, later tonight or tomorrow. Hit me up on Instagram at ParaLife TV if you haven't already. Oh, I'm way past my time to stop. I'm at 53 minutes cardio. Let's get talking, eh? Hey, here's a Canadian. Oh, sweet. Where's this cruise taking place? Like, where are you cruising to? So I'm going to go on a little cool down. Wasn't going all that hard, just long sustained cardio. There's no supersets, no sprints involved. This morning's cardio because I worked out yesterday. Like last night, I did battle ropes and slam ball supersets, and then I combined after that. I did some rowing cardio on the rowing erg and rope pull cardio, which is good. So. That picture of the bathroom stall that they modified for wheelchairs. I'm going to post it on my Instagram sometime the next day or so. I won't mention what company it was, but where's that taking place, Kenny, in Cruising Scene? That's one thing I didn't realize about YouTube when I started is that the community, communities that are created throughout YouTube, like there's different communities that based on interests and stuff that you bond with other YouTube channels and become friends and family. It's pretty amazing. That's one thing I never knew about YouTube prior to my channel starting. So it's pretty cool. Meet some really nice people. Everyone I've met so far has been really, really nice and genuine. So it's all good. All right. Let's do some little stretching here. A little bit of Van Halen. Let's jump. Whoa. I might have to edit this part out because if you can hear the music, it's probably copyright infraction that I'll get. I'm going to jump off here and just kind of quickly go over my bike. I'll do this part here after I transfer onto a bench. I'm on a seat that's attached to the crank cycle. This is a crank cycle made by Matrix. I love the machine. It's great. It's not digital or anything. It's a straightforward manual. So anyways, it's mostly for upper body. It's full upper body, I'd have to say. I think even myself now, for balance-wise, because I can apply some pressure on my legs for stability. I can feel it in my legs as well, just keeping myself stable. So I'm working my legs a little bit too. It's mostly targeted for upper body, shoulders, chest, biceps, back, lats, core, abs, everything. It's great for cardio and strength and conditioning. There's different settings you can do on this. I prefer to transfer onto the comfortable seat and cushion seat and do my workouts here. If you don't want to transfer onto the seat, you can flip the crank cycle head by this little lever right here. See it pointed there? Switch that up. Take that off to the right, or my left, your right, and you can lower the head of the crank cycle down so you can wheel around or stand up, whatever you like to do, and crank from that side without having to transfer onto the bench. Now, if I can get that. Okay, so you see, for those that stuck around there, you see me going in one direction and then I'll call out every so many minutes or whatever that I'm going to split. So what's great about this too is that you're going in one direction, you want to decide to change, go the opposite direction. There's a little rotating lever right here. You can see it right there. So you put it down towards me is to lock it, to lock the head in this direction. If that lever is left open, you can swivel the whole crank cycle head around. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it in a locking position, and when I want to rotate, I'm going to click that little lever so I can loosen the head, and I'm going to click or move over this other little lever here, put it up in upright position, and then I'll swivel it around like this. Again, I'm going to hit this little lever to release the lock and bring it down to whatever setting I want. And then it's important to go back and lock the head in the position. Because if you forget to lock it and you go to crank, it's very loose and could cause injury. So make sure it's locked. Okay? Now, putting it in the upright position again just to show you, there's a resistance, there's a tensioner right here, a little knob that you can adjust the tension depending on how hard you want your workout, how easy, what type of workout you're doing. Yeah, it all depends what you want to do for your workout. You want to do circuits, sprints, whatever. So this is your tension. Rotate it to your right to increase, to your left to decrease the tension. I'm going to make it, so I'm going to go at the easiest. So is that the easiest right now? No, sorry, how's that the easiest? Okay, what did you say? So is that the easiest, which is really good for, warm up. You feel some resistance. Now, I'm going to just rotate it one full rotation at a time, and you'll see how the tension builds up, okay? So that's one. Not so much yet. Two. Not so much. Three. I can feel it building. Oh, you hear it kick in right there? Okay, now I'm going to go another rotation. There, we get pretty hard, so I have to go to two hands now. And then I'm going to go another one. And like I said, it is tough. And I think I can go one more. Yeah, one more rotation. And this is to the max tension right here. And wow, unless you have some momentum going into that, it's tough to get going. Okay? So how many turns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 full turns. So really 7 levels of tension you can get the crank cycle going. Okay, so I'm going to jump off the crank cycle. So I think I went off. I went over everything I could on this side. And there's a water bottle holder that's facing me. And I can put my water bottle right down in here. However, I broke that off. Transferring, my foot hit it, it snapped it off. Yeah. Okay, so I got a little bit of a sled on. A couple more things I'm going to show you on the crank cycle. It's got a couple wheels in the front here. On each side there's wheels. That's because if you wanted to move it on the back part of the crank cycle, I don't know if you can see, there's little spaces, handles that you can put your hands underneath, and you can lift it up, tilt it forward, and you can maneuver the crank cycle wherever you want to maneuver to. I put it on a blue mat right away just to protect my floor, and it's easy to slide the crank cycle. The crank cycle is quite heavy, but with this blue mat on it, I can slide and adjust the angle if I want to. Like I'm going to show you here. I mean, oops, check out. If I want to angle it a certain way, I can slide it nice and easy on the mat in the front. Slide it, so it's not too bad that way. I mean, I would probably need. Let me get my face back here. There we go. I probably need some help if I wanted to move it to the other side of the room, just to make it a little easier and prevent damage to the machine or the floor. So, anyways, okay. So on this side too, like if you don't feel comfortable, transferring onto the bench part of the crank cycle, you can. You can work out on this side here. Let me see. I'm going to actually slide it over this way so you can see better. So you can go on this side here. If you wanted to stand up and do the crank, you can stand up. I'm not going to stand up and try it. I may just do that though one of these days. Try that. You can adjust it so you stay right in your wheelchair. Or you can get a regular chair and crank, put your brakes on, and crank away. Again, you have all three settings. Also, you can have it upright for standing, or if you're super tall, super high in your chair, you can adjust it at the chest level, and down to your waist level, and then you can go down as far as you can go down here in this direction. On the other side, you can go down one more level. I'll show you. So here's the upright. Go down your chest, down to your waist, and if you want to, you can go down one more level. I find this quite difficult. Not that it's hard, just very awkward. And I don't find it beneficial, really. Beneficial workout with this here, this far down. That's just my opinion. I prefer this one here is a good one. The chest level and the waist level are the ones I use most of the time. So there you go. One more thing with the crank cycle. The seat, there's a pin here. You can you need an Allen key, and you can take the whole seat off. Like right now, I can tip it up, but on the other side, there's an Allen key that you need, and you can loosen it, and you can take the whole seat right off, so you can wheel on to the crank cycle base with your wheelchair if you wanted to, and crank away there too, right? So I love it. It's awesome. I have another video on the crank cycle. If you want to go check that out. Yeah, James, if you could do that, that'd be awesome. I'm just getting caught up on some comments here. Sorry if I missed any. Nice. Never been to Dominican. Sweet, sweet. Yeah, if you can, James. I found this one was actually it was used, but brand new. It was what happened is just timing. I just happened to call a place that sells all kinds of workout equipment, exercise equipment, And I was calling actually for a set of dumbbells. And I had to go. Sorry, this is quite a while. Actually, no, I went in to visit this place looking for dumbbells, and I seen one of these, but it was still quite expensive. They were asking, and it was used. I think it was asking like $2,500 plus tax. I was like, oof, no way, I can't do that. As much as I love to have one, I was like, no, I'll just continue to use the one at the gym. And then probably 6 months later or so, I was still looking for these dumbbells. So they didn't have any in stock at that time. And I called to see if they had the dumbbells. They said, yes, we have some. So then again, I went in to look at the dumbbells and ended up purchasing them. And they had this baby marked down. They had two of these actually in there. One was brand new, I think, and the other one was used. And they had a used one marked down again to like $1,800 Canadian. And I was like, still no. Plus taxes, and then I gotta get it delivered to my house. I'm just like, no. Still way out of the budget. And so I had the set of dumbbells, and I was looking for something else, and I was emailing back and forth to the company, and then they happened to ask me if I was still interested in the hand cycle, the crank cycle, and I was like, yeah, sure. What do you have it at? Anyways, they marked down the price, unbelievable, and it was taxes in, delivery in, for like I think it was $600 Canadian, and I was like, yeah, bring it. I said, no argument. I said, that's I can swing that, bring it in. So it was definitely a really good, worthwhile investment. This baby here, and like I said, it was brand new. It was hardly used. What happened was another gym in town had one. They had bought it, a smaller facility, I believe, and it never got used. It just sat there collecting dust, and so they sold it to this distributor, and the distributor went to flip it, and it just sat there, and finally got marked down to a real good price, and I had to jump on it. I mean, I know that's still pretty pricey, but for me, $600 is still a good chunk of coin, but I thought of it as an investment for my health and for my family if they want to jump on and use it too, right? So I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by them. Anything. So just hopefully it helps everybody out there, or anyone out there looking for any kind of upper body erg. So it's great. And they got portable ones too, different style portables that you can use. The one I had, like I said, I had to bolt it down. This was a very light, cheap one that I had to bolt down because it's so light. Every time I started going fast, it started rocking back and forth. And anyways, but there are heavier ones that you can sit on the tabletop. Just Google it. You'll find some different models and they're reasonable priced as well. So that's good. It's gonna do a little bit of stretch. Get some AC/DC coming on here. Seen those guys in concert too. What a wicked show that was. Let's say favorite concert. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say concert. Well, my favorite concert was definitely AC/DC. Yeah, I'd say AC/DC. Just the energy that they had. See the Rolling Stones too. That was really good. And that was a horrible venue at the time for accessibility. Again, I called the head asking about accessibility. There's an outdoor venue, and they said, "Oh yes, we have wheelchair washrooms for for people in wheelchairs or mobility issues, and we have we've got seating for you, great seating." Anyways, got there, horrible, and then I mean the concert was great, but just the venue setup, it was poorly planned for people with any kind of issues walking or mobility issues. It was just horrible. And that particular spot here in New Brunswick, they have an annual festival with bands coming, and as good as the bands that were there and I wanted to see, I was just like, you know what? I'm not going through that again because it is absolutely horrible. for accessibility, because no matter how good the band was that was going there, I was like, I'm not going through that again. But then when I heard AC/DC was coming, actually AC/DC came once, and I was still I was just still traumatized through the experience I had there. That was probably like 10 years prior, and I gave up on AC/DC. I didn't go see them at that particular venue, and I regretted it. And I was like, oh man, I should have went. I should have just sucked it up and went. Thankfully, 3 years after that, AC/DC came back to that same venue, and I said, I'm doing it. I'm going. I don't care what the issues are with accessibility. I am just going. Anyways, to my surprise, it was fantastic. Like, the venue was set up after, I guess, feedback from people, and I couldn't speak more highly of the setup they had for people that needed wheelchairs or any kind of special seating. It was really well set up. Yeah, these bands are awesome. You can take them anywhere. You just bunch them up and throw them in my wheelchair pouch under here. If I need to go, yeah, keep them in your car, in your book bag, wherever. These bands are awesome. So yeah, with the accessibility, what they said was, when I bought my ticket and I was talking to the agent about what to do, where to go for accessibility and blah, 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 they told me to go to a certain parking lot outside of the venue. It was at a church. And from there, there'll be buses that are capable of handling wheelchairs and scooters that will, accessible buses that will take you inside the venue, that will drive you, which is probably maybe a 5-minute drive in behind everything, and take you to a platform that they had set up, which is pretty close. Well, I wouldn't say close, but it was a decent. You could see well, and you could see over top of everybody. So they drive you right to that platform and then lower you, and you get out, and literally you're probably maybe 30 feet away from the platform with the ramp, and you go up and you get your seat. And the best part about that was too that they had huge porta potty washroom set up. Porta potties are not the greatest at any time, but these ones here were actually guarded by security, so not everybody could go in. Only people on that platform that needed the wheelchair accessible porta potties could go in. So really, those were the cleanest washrooms that I've ever been in, because they were well, and they had cleaners too that would go in and clean every once in a while. So if the security seeing a random person come staggering in wanting to use the washroom, he's like, no, the public, general population or whatever, washrooms are over that way. It was great. And if we came off the platform and they had concessions right along side of the platform as well, so you didn't have to go far to get anything that you wanted to eat or drink. Really well set up. And then when the concert was done, you wheeled off the platform, and the bus was right there parked. They had multiple buses. And you got on the bus, and it drove you right to the parking lot where you first came in, and you got in your car and went home. It's fantastic. So yeah, they definitely redeemed themselves on that concert, and I'm glad I went. I'm glad I got to see AC/DC, because after that, they stopped touring. Because of some health issues and the death in the band. So I'm not sure if they're back at it now or not. But I was a freshman in high school. Yeah, it's good that you caught them. Yeah, it's always good to carry these wherever you go. Yeah, I had them. Well, I have them here at home, and then when I worked in my office building, I had rubber bands in my desk as well, and I have them in my hockey bag. So when I go traveling, playing hockey, I have a set of bands in my bag too. So yeah, so there we go. Accessible venues for concerts. But that first concert I went to was horrible. I was the wheelchair stalls were with the general stalls. So, and they were quite a ways away from the platform where we were sitting in. So we had to wheel through and up a steep hill to get to these washrooms. And then they had a lineup in each stall or each porta potty. I don't know how many, there's over 30 of them in this one section. They were totally lined up with at least 50 people in line. And with the wheelchair accessible stalls too. They were lined up as well. And I asked the security guy that was there, I was like, is there another stall I could go into? Because is there, because this is like, this is for wheelchair and people that need that, but this looks like everybody from the concert. And at this concert, there was estimated between 80 and 90,000 people at this concert. Can you imagine how huge this was? So anyways, the security guy said, don't worry, follow me. So I'm like, oh, okay, good. He's taking me around back where there's another washroom I can go to. Instead, he takes me, leads me to the front of the line of about 50 people, drunk people at that, and sits me in front of the line. And when the next person comes out, he says, okay, go ahead. And wow, I was getting, I'm surprised nothing was thrown at me, but there's a lot of people yelling at me and at the security guy, not saying some nice things because I got pushed up to the front line because they've been waiting there for such a long time, right? So I was just like, yeah, it's not good. And then thankfully I was prepared. When I went into that porta potty, thankfully I was prepared. I brought my sanitizing wipes, hand sanitizer, own toilet paper. I had my little backpack on, so I brought my own stuff. Just some experience in those things. And it was horrible in there. I basically spent about 20, 25 minutes in this porta potty cleaning it before I could actually get in and wheel because it was just disgusting. I won't go into too much detail, but I cleaned the whole damn porta potty pretty much because I didn't want to get that stuff on my hands. I did have gloves. And again, people were angry because it was taking so long. But they didn't understand that. When you're in a wheelchair and you're going into these wheelchair accessible porta potties, if you get, messes on the floor, I'm not going to wheel through that and get that on my hands and on my clothes. I got to wash. I need to wash it down. It's just what you got to do. So anyway, there we go. That's enough of that. I don't want. But to end on a positive note, they fixed everything. And my last experience at that venue for a concert, which I did get to see AC/DC, it was fantastic. Everything was great, accessibility-wise. So there we go. So I'm just going to call it a day here. Yeah, and yeah, it's so true, James, and it's really no excuse for it. With the way things are today, there's, I think it's just people just not knowing how to make a place accessible, right? They may have an idea in their head, thinking, oh, we can just move this over there and that'd be great. We're done. Problem solved. But no, because there's such a wide range of people with issues, going from size of their chair to a scooter to whatever, walking with a cane or a walker. So it's tough, but I mean, if I see a place that I can make a suggestion, I will make a suggestion to them. Whether they do it or not, it's up to them, really. So, but that's a good topic that I should have is accessibility in places. Some challenges what people have, and how they go around the challenges and make it work for them, or if they can. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. We make do. We got to make the best of it, right? You got to make it work. It's not like we're going to sit at home all day. So, and that's the thing too, is that I'm so active in the community that I think that people will take notice, even if I say something or not. If I'm in a store or if I need to go to a change room and the change room's not accessible, and if I don't say anything, and the employees will just know, like, oh my gosh, you can't get in to try that on. They'll just know, and maybe get to the manager or not. But anyway, there's one thing that really, because I work downtown here in my city that I'm from, and the sidewalks are always a mess, which it happens with our weather. We get the freezing and the spring thaw, things heave. It's understandable. It happens just or climate, right? One thing though is the transition when you're doing crosswalk transitions for anybody. They got so bad down there, crossing the street, and when you're transitioning from the asphalt up onto the concrete sidewalk again, unbelievable. I know for sure people were spraining ankles. It was unbelievable. It was pretty much every corner, every block, and probably maybe I'd say 6 or 7 years ago, they slowly started doing one corner at a time, and which is great. Probably just for budget wise, they can only do certain block, certain year, and then finally, I noticed I was downtown driving earlier. What was it last fall? And 4 main corners downtown where I would normally travel with my wheelchair up and down to get some exercise during my break. They finally fixed those 4 corners, which were the most badly damaged street corners in the city, and finally fixed them. Unfortunately, I don't work downtown anymore, but hey, it looks good, and it's saving people's ankles for sure. And then there's other people that work downtown in scooters and use canes and wheelchairs that, it'll definitely help them now. So that's good. Just glad they got it done. I was thinking falls because I'll be wheeling along and I'll be talking, or somebody will yell my name, say, hey, and I look up and I just happen to catch the crack of the sidewalk or the transition from the asphalt going up back into the concrete, and I flip my chair. Yeah. It's happened more than once. It's happened more than once. That's right, James. Yeah, sidewalks, they're challenging. Yeah, they're challenging. I remember one time I was downtown, and again, somebody yelled my name from across the street. And we live in a small city, right? I think we have populations like 55,000, maybe 60. I'm not sure, but it's not very big. And growing up in the same city, people know you. And working downtown for close to 20 years, people. And someone hollered my name from across the street, and I was going at a pretty good clip because I was just doing my afternoon exercise around the block, wheel around the block. And I just happened to lift my head up, and I hit a crack. And I didn't just topple over. I actually flew. I actually got some air and went down. And there's people walking towards me and behind me, and they all ran to me, and they were like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Okay?" And they started picking me up, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm okay. I'm okay." I mean, it's the worst thing they could do is try to pick me up because it's pretty heavy, and for them to pick up pretty much dead weight, they said, "You're gonna hurt yourself." I said, "I'm okay. I can get up. I can get up." And then, anyways, I got myself up, and they kind of backed off a little bit. And they're like, "Oh my God, are you okay? You okay?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm okay." And I kind of gave them a line like, "Now, what would you give that at a 1 out of 10 type thing, like for air?" They kind of made a joke or whatever, and they kind of laughed at it. And some of them were kind of looking at me kind of weird, like, "How can you joke at something like that?" But I don't know. Let's make light of it. It was nothing serious. Not like I had a coffee between my legs or anything. But I love this stretch right here. What's big time we have? 1:15. Yeah. I laugh. I don't get offended when people laugh, but mostly they don't. But the thing is, if somebody's with me that knows me, and that's another part too, if somebody's with me walking, or if it's a friend of mine and I fall out of my chair, they laugh because they know that they know me, right? They know that if I fall out of my chair, I'm just going to laugh, shake it off, jump back in and keep going, right? I'm not going to get upset over it. And but other people that are watching that see them laughing at me, the look on their face is priceless. When outsiders are kind of looking at the situation going on with myself and my friends, it's they get a look of disgust on their face when they see a friend of mine or looking at me or laughing at me when I fall out of my chair. But I mean, like he says, it's part of life for me. Or when I fall out and they don't help me. They're like, hurry up and get up. You know, they make comments like that, and I don't mind those. I mean, it's because I just laugh it off. It's gonna happen, right? So I think that's about it, gang. I think I'm gonna go eat some lunch. I'm gonna do one more stretch. I've done this before, and I always say it's one of my favorite stretches. I'm gonna adjust the camera down because I do a stretch here where I grab the foot plate, I put my feet down here, and I grab my foot plate. Do you hear that crunching in my chair? I cannot get rid of that. And I know it has something to do with the straps. There's support straps underneath my, you hear it, Velcro, and I think it's coming from those, but I've tried tightening them to get rid of that noise. And I tried loosening to get rid of that noise. Then I thought, well, maybe I just got to work it in. But it's been almost, it's been 9 months since I've had this chair. So, and it still hasn't gone away. Anybody knows how to get rid of that noise? Let me know. Okay, so this is one of my favorite stretches too, is put my feet flat on the floor, and I'll grab my foot plate, or you can grab your casters, and I just kind of gently pull myself into my knees, my chest into my knees. I can feel this stretch all the way from my Achilles, not through my calves. I don't have any feeling through my calves, but I start getting feeling in the back of my legs and my glutes. So my hamstrings, I can feel a stretch going through my hamstrings, through my glutes, into my lower back, all the way up my back into my shoulders. Oh, I just heard my back crack. That's good. You hear that creak? Hey, Brooke. How you doing, Brooke? I was just showing one of my favorite stretches, and I was just showing how you grab the bottom of your chair to stretch out hamstrings, ankles, hamstrings, everything. Full back stretch, which is great. Well, I'm just going to sign off. I went through my 80s rock playlist. That's a good hour and a half of music. And I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to get some food, much needed food after that cardio workout. So again, I'm just going to let this run for a little bit. You guys can chat amongst yourselves for a little bit, get to know each other. And I'm not going to sign off right away. I'm going to try to hit a mute button if we can mute myself. And then I can just let it run for a little bit. Thanks a lot for everyone for being here. I love it. I find it very motivating to be chatting, getting to know you guys while I work out. I appreciate it. And have a great day. Okay. Till next time, keep rolling. Okay, see y'all. Have a great day, everybody. Appreciate you all. Oops.